Hey, hi, hello, how are you? I'm Pia. I don't remember the last time I did a bookshelf tour, and I feel like that's a good sign that I need to do it again. My bookshelves have changed a lot recently. I finally got this third shelf, which I was planning on originally putting in when I did this whole setup and just now got. And I've just kind of rearranged a lot of things lately, and I've gotten rid of books, I've brought in new books. I'm pretty happy with how they are right now. I'm always kind of like open to changing them because like just that's how I am. Currently, they are organized by genre. Oh shit, they're also alphabetical. Anyways, so they're currently organized by genre and they're alphabetical. This is how I like them to be organized right now. This is probably like the 17th way I've organized my books. So this is how I like it. I'm going to go through all of my shelves, all of the books, just basically saying, hey, this is this book that I have. And that's about it. If you haven't seen a bookshelf tour before, that's what it is. And I also have a set of shelves directly opposite from where I normally film these shelves that I used to actually film in front of years ago, which I don't anymore because they're usually a mess. But they're not for this video. So I'm going to go through, show you all the books. We've got a lot of books to go through, so let's get started. All right, so for a quick overview, this is what these shelves look like, and those shelves, and then we will start up there. This first shelf here is what I like to call my Anne shelf, my Anne of Green Gables shelf, my Ella Montgomery shelf. That's kind of what it is. Pretty self-explanatory, but I do have a slight love affair with Anne of Green Gables. It's my favorite story of all time, and so I have all of the books here. Let me quickly rearrange them, because I don't know why they look like that. Alternating between college and here is just like a mess. I don't know what things look like. So this is better. So basically how I've kind of organized this, because I have so many copies of this 8-book series, let me just keep hitting the tripod, is I have some like prequels that are not written by Ella Montgomery, Marilla of Green Gables, Before Green Gables. These are 2 prequel books that I have not read, not canon. And then I have like editions where I only have the first books, because that's a fair few. And then I have the first 3 of some other editions, a random second one, 3 for 8 of these editions, and then I have the entire like set that I have here, which are the ones I've read. Well, I've read up until the 5th book. Anyway, and then I have this really special edition that is probably my favorite. I got this for Christmas a couple years ago, or maybe my birthday. This is the fall edition, and it's just fucking stunning. Things like The Blythes are quoted, which is like the unofficial 9th book, a biography of Ella Montgomery, Blue Castle, and The Story Girl. I'm not 100% set with this shelf, especially because I have like only a few of certain editions, and I'd like to have like all of them. Ideally, a lot of these were gifted to me by some subscribers, by my parents and stuff like that. Like I really love that people know I love this series so much. You know, I'd like to like display this at one point, or like display my favorite editions. This is what fits. This is what's working for now. So how I decided to kind of transition from my beloved Anne shelf is to switch over to classics, because Anne is a classic. I think we can all agree on that. So then my first genre is classics, and I kind of do my genres in a little snaky pattern. So starting off, we have another little small collection of my Little Women books. Little Women's probably my second favorite classic, and I have 3 editions. So I have the movie tie-in edition that is just like I mean, they're all stunning, but this is the Puffin and Bloom one that I actually have read, the Barnes & Noble edition, and it is it also has the other sequels. So it has Little Women, Little Men, and Joe's Boys, the 2 sequels. And then I think we're done with having multiple editions. I think Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury, A Little Princess, My Antonia, The Girl with the Pearl Earring, Alchemist, This Side of Paradise, and The Great Gatsby, The Outsiders. That would be Sylvia Plath, she would do that. The Bell Jar, The Catcher in the Rye, and The Taming of the Shrew. Funny enough, this is the only Shakespeare play that I have. I've bought other ones, and I guess I just have only kept this. Alright, now we're gonna move on to the other classics and moving into some other genres. Alright, so this is the shelf directly below the Anne shelf. We're continuing from classics and then transitioning into historical fiction, nonfiction, history, memoirs. That's kind of what this graduation is. We have Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, Heidi, Mrs. Dalloway, and The Waves by Virginia Woolf. I love these editions. The Immortalists, The Vanishing Half, The Beekeeper of Aleppo, Firefly Lane, The Nightingale, and Winter Garden, all by Kristen Hanna. Dear Edward. I'm not even sure if this is historical fiction. It might just be lit fic. The more I think about it, the less I know. The Alice Network, Daisy Jones and the Six, Malibu Rising, and The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Look how banged up my copy of Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo is. This is because I have have lent this out to everyone I know. The Help, oh, love. Grant, Legends and Lore of Cape Cod, I'll Be Gone in the Dark, Witches and Warlocks of Massachusetts, On Writing by Stephen King, Save the Cat, Secrets for the Mad, Unfiltered, Talking as Fast as I Can, From Gilmore Girls to Gilmore Girls and Everything in Between, Stay Sexy and Don't Get Murdered by Karen Kilgariff and Georgia Hardstark, Becoming by Michelle Obama, and then we are done with this section. This looks a little haphazard because of this book on top, but this kind of does the same thing that the other shelf did, where it starts with some historical fiction, but instead this is young adult historical fiction, and then it just goes into some adult general fiction and or like literary fiction. We have Alone with You in the Ether by Olivia Blake, Ziggy Stardust and Me, Wolf by Wolf, Between Shades of Grey, Meg and Joe, Writers and Lovers, Crazy Rich Asians, China Rich Girlfriend and Rich People Problems, The Road Trip and the Switch by Beth O'Leary, Honey Girl, Conversations with Friends, and All Adults Here by Emma Straub. And that is the shelf. Alright, so here we have like one straggler from the adults general fiction section, and then the rest is all young adult fiction, so like most of my books. So Separation Anxiety, Again But Better, With the Fire on High, Far from the Tree, Girl Made of Stars, The Chaos of Standing Still and the Geography of Lost Things by Jessica Brody, Felix Ever After by Kaysen Callender, A Heart and a Body of the World by Deb Coletti. Okay, I lied, I do have multiple editions of this book. I might have other books I have multiple editions of that I forgot about, but these are all my editions of Perks of Being a Wallflower because it's one of my favorite books. So we have Perks of Being a Wallflower, this is the 20th anniversary edition, Noi Siamo Infinito, which is the Italian edition, and then we have just like the Perks of Being a Wallflower. How to Break a Boy, How It Feels to Float, The Fault in Our Stars, Looking for Alaska, Paper Towns, and Turtles All the Way Down by John Green. Never Saw You Coming, Unpregnant, Let's Call It a Doomsday, Let's Talk About Love, I didn't even realize that those two titles back to back, Autoboyography by Christina Lauren, When You Get the Chance and You Have a Match by Emma Lord, The Unexpected Everything by Morgan Matson, Ophelia After All by Raquel Marie, I Kissed Shara Wheeler. Moving over here, it's more of the same vibe. Whoops. And I also have my TBR jar in here. I had a plan at the beginning of the year that I was going to bring this back. I still have high hopes to do that, but just not happening right now. This Adventure Ends. It goes like this. A Cuban Girl's Guide to Tea and Tomorrow. All the Right Places and Holding Up the Universe by Jennifer Niven. Nice Try, Jane Sinner. Lucky Few and Tosh Hart's Tolstoy by Catherine Ormsby. Radio Silence and Loveless by Alice Oseman. And Camp. This is just some more YA contemporaries, and then some middle grade contemporaries, moving into what I deem YA romance. I tried to separate romance and contemporaries, although they do have some like blurred lines, just because I like order. The Way I Used to Be, We Can't Keep Meaning Like This, Definitions of Indefinable Things, Dear Martin, The Hate You Give, Everything Beautiful Is Not Ruined, It's Kind of a Funny Story, Eliza and Her Monsters, This Is Where the World Ends, The Pig Man, Where the Watermelons Grow, Ivy Aberdeen's Letter to the World and the Mighty Heart of Sunny St. James by Ashley Herring Blake, Hazel's Theory of Evolution, Lily and Duncan, Dear Sweet Pea, Look Both Ways, Stargirl and Love Stargirl, and Ways to Make Sunshine. Chasing Lucky, Serious Moonlight, and Starry Eyes by Jen Bennett, Words in Deep Blue by Kath Crowley, 10 Blind Dates, You'd Be Mine, To All the Boys I've Loved Before, P.S. I Still Love You, and Always and Forever, Laura Jean. Similar kind of transitional vibe here. We have young adult romances, transitioning to adult romances. Very colorful. I love these sections. We have Her Royal Highness and Prince Charming by Rachel Hawkins, Tweet Cute by Emma Lord, Foolish Hearts by Emma Mills, The Perfect Escape, Geekerella, Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe. I need to get a finished copy of this, but it's my so-called Bollywood Life. Has a real cover, I swear. This is in the wrong order, but Girl Online on Tour, and Girl Online Going Solo. I decided to make it alphabetical and not chronological, even though it's a series. Is this signed? Oh my gosh. Freaking 12-year-old me probably died. Red, White, and Royal Blue, Call Me By Your Name, Beach Read, and People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry, Life's Too Short by Abby Jimenez. I should probably mention that I have other books than these. Some of them are on my other shelves, and then I also, like I said, am in college. So my other two Abby Jimenez books, hold on. This one's here. The Friend Zone by Abby Jimenez. Okay. My other Abby Jimenez book is at college, so I'm giving you the heads up. If you ever see like something that's like a series, or like you would think I would have the rest of the books, I probably do, but just not here. You Deserve Each Other, The Romantic Agenda, In a Holidays, Roomies, The Unhoneymooners, Sweet Filthy Boy by Christina Lauren. I also have Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating, but it's on loan right now. If you have it, and it's my book. Please read it. Here I have a random romance book that I picked up at Goodwill because I thought I was gonna do a video on it, and that was like 3 years ago. So it was called Highland Barbarian. The Tourist Attraction, The Right Swipe, One Day in December, The X Talk, and Funny You Should Ask. The last one on this level is of course my tiny one. This one we just have like a couple stragglers of romance, and then we have some young adult mystery thrillers, and then my adult kind of mystery thrillers, and then horror as well. And I have a couple Pop Funkos, or Funko Pops, sorry. This is Danny from Hocus Pocus. The Chatham School Affair, Would Like to Meet, How to Fail at Flirting, The Inheritance Games, Beauty Queens, Grown, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, Losing Brave, Sadie, The Chain, The Whisper Man, Big Summer, Tender as the Flesh, and Imaginary Friend by Stephen Chbosky. Moving on, we have some horror books, moving into some sci-fi, and then some young adult sci-fi and fantasy. And that's basically this shelf. And then we also have another one of my Hocus Pocus themed little guy. My Best Friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendrix. Middle Game by Shauna Maguire. The Road. Recursion by Blake Crouch. This Is How You Lose the Time War. An Absolutely Remarkable Thing. A Room Away from the Wolves. You Must Not Miss. The Wicked Deep and Winterwood. Summer of Salt by Katrina Leno. The Afterlife of Holly Chase. Girl on a Wire. House of Salt and Sorrows. My Plain Jane. An Arrow to the Moon and the Astonishing Color of After. The Great Unknowable End. Black Girl Unlimited. The Kingdom. The Hunger Games, Catching Fire and Mockingjay. Skyward and Starsight. And that wraps it up for my poorly organized sci-fi, speculative, fantasy YA shelf. Alright, so here we have some middle grade fantasies and then some young adult fantasy, and then bleeding into kind of adult fantasy starting kind of over there. We also have Scarlet Witch here, just bobbling her little head. They did her so dirty. I don't even want to talk about it. The Invention of Hugo Cabaret. The Giver. We have like the tiny little edition. And then these matching editions. So we have The Giver, Gathering Blue, and Sun. Yes, I'm missing The Messenger. If you want to send it to me, I would appreciate it. City of Ghosts and Tunnel of Bones. The Lightning Thief. Nevermore, The Trials of Morgan Crow, and Wondersmith, The Calling of Morgan Crow. Willa of the Wood. The Land of Stories. There Will Come a Darkness. Bonecryer's Moon. The Other Side of the Sky. Sorcery of Thorns. Star Daughter. The Bear and the Nightingale. Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. The 10,000 Doors of January. Hocus Pocus and the all-new sequel. Where Dreams Descend. And City of Stairs. And that about does it for the shelf. More adult fantasy. And then just my graphic novels. The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. Nevernight and God's Grave. Circe by Madeline Miller. The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. Exit West. Ninth House. Sheets. Pumpkinheads. Debbie and Pearl, Digital Detective, The Memory Thief, The Tea Dragon Society, Heartstopper Volumes 1 and 2, and this One Direction book. Now, what you will notice about these shelves is that there's another shelf with a Swiffer and of just emptiness. Actually, I keep magazines over there. For growth, room for growth. The last stop are these shelves. Now, if you have been on my channel for a long time, I've recognized these. I used to film in front of them. They pretty much haven't changed. This bottom shelf has changed, but this top shelf, I literally haven't touched it. So up here is primarily just kind of favorite fantasy series, especially from like being a kid or like a teenager. I have the Divergent books, minus Divergent because I lent it out and now I don't have it. So we have Insurgent and Elysian. We have my Harry Potter books, which are not mine. Actually, most of them are not mine. I stole them from my brothers, so shout out to them. They are their books. We have the Philosopher's Stone, that's the first edition, and then the Sorcerer's Stone, and then I have Harry Potter La Pietra Filosofale because it's in Italian. And then I have 2 of the Chamber of Secrets, or 3, just kidding. I have 3 editions of the Chamber of Secrets, 2 of the third one, and then 1 of the rest of them. And I don't have Dust Jacket for that one, and that is my brother's fault. And then I have Tales of Beat the Bird. Pretty self-explanatory, like we don't need to relish in this moment in time. We have The Strange the Dreamer duology by Laini Taylor. We have the Daughter of Smoke and Bone series, or trilogy, that I adore, with the companion, Night of King of Puppets. All my Cassie Clare books. Red Scrolls is there because it's the only hardcover, because I like the paperbacks. We have City Bones, City of Ashes, and City of Glass. I have read all of these, I have read all of the books, but I just don't own all of them. Oh, and City of Lost Souls. Random. Okay. Can you tell how much I don't spend time on these shelves? Okay. And then Clockwork Angel, and then Lady Midnight, Lord of Shadows, and Queen of Fairy Darkness. It's a little bit of a mess. And this is, if you're wondering, this is Sirius's font that I paid an exorbitantly large amount of money for. Going straight down, this is where I would normally keep like my TBR books. But like I said, since I primarily live in Boston right now during like the school semester, I don't have a lot of books here. But for the sake of this video, I have some books that I have left here that I was planning, I guess, on reading. Mary Kay Andrews, Deep Dish. My mom
Let Me Borrow. It by Stephen King that I may or may not finish. The Inheritance of Oquita Divina, and this is another book my mom is letting me borrow. Vicious by V.E. Schwab, a book my dad is letting me borrow. The last stop is the shelf, which has basically my like 2022 favorites and just kind of favorites in general, and then all of my Mary-Kate and Ashley books. I don't know why this is backwards. Let's just fix that. I'm not gonna go through all of these, but these are all of my Mary-Kate and Ashley books that I've had since childhood. I don't keep a lot of my childhood books on my shelves other than basically these and like the Harry Potter books and Divergent, basically. I want to do a video on these sometime, but I don't have all of them. Like you'll see like 16, 10, 14, like it's just kind of a mess. And then over here we have Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, Cleopatra and Frankenstein, Normal People, the scripts, Ace, Every Summer After, Solitaire, Anxious People, and The Flat Share. So that about does it for my bookshelf tour for 2023. These are all of the books that I currently have / keep at home. Let me know if you see your favorite book or books that you think I really need to read sometime soon, and if you have any ideas on some books I need to get to fill these shelves and my Swiffer. And with that being said, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all the things, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!